You paid $59 for a tub of blue powder that makes your face itch, and you think that itch is the product working. My beautiful muscle sacs. That itch is one ingredient, underdosed, and you have been sold a feeling instead of an effect. Today we open the tub. Every ingredient, what the research actually says, and what dose you need before it does anything at all. By the end of this, you will read a label better than the guy who sold it to you. And I care about this deeply, because a pre-workout that actually works means better sessions, and better sessions mean better tissue. Let's just say I have a professional interest in the quality of what you build. Here is the thesis, right up front. Most pre-workouts are caffeine, plus a tingle, plus flavoring, plus marketing. The good ones exist. You are probably not drinking one. Let's start with the biggest misconception in the entire supplement aisle. People believe pre-workout gives you energy. It does not. Energy comes from food, sleep, and glycogen. Caffeine only changes how tired you feel. Caffeine blocks adenosine. Adenosine is the molecule that builds up all day and whispers, hey, maybe sit down. Caffeine sits in that receptor, so the whisper never arrives. So the fatigue is still there. You just stopped receiving the notification. That is a genuinely useful tool. But it is a mask, not a fuel tank, and the difference matters when you are 3 hours deep and crashing. Second misconception, the tingle means it's working. That tingle is beta-alanine causing paresthesia, harmless nerve tingling in your face and hands. It has nothing to do with the session you're about to have. Companies know you associate the tingle with potency, so they dose beta-alanine high enough to tingle and everything else low enough to be worthless. You are paying for a sensation that confirms your purchase. All right, ingredient by ingredient, we begin with the one that actually earns its place, caffeine. Caffeine is one of the most researched ergogenic aids in existence. It reliably improves endurance performance, reduces perceived exertion, and modestly improves strength and power output. This is not bro science. This is a mountain of trials. Dose is roughly 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, taken about 45 to 60 minutes before training. 80 kilo lifter. That's somewhere between 200 and 400 milligrams. Start at the bottom of that range. More is not better. Past about 6 milligrams per kilo, you get jitters, elevated heart rate, and worse technique, not more strength. I have watched people miss lifts because their hands were shaking on the bar, and caffeine has a half-life of around 5 to 6 hours. Take 400 milligrams at 6 p.m. and half of it is still circulating at midnight. Your pre-workout is stealing from your sleep, which is where the actual growth happens. Ingredient 2, citrulline malate, and this one is legitimately good, which is exactly why it's underdosed everywhere. L-citrulline converts to arginine in your kidneys, which raises nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels. More blood to working muscle. That is the pump you feel, and it may modestly improve reps to failure. Effective dose is 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate, or around 3 to 5 grams of pure L-citrulline. Now, go look at your tub. I'll wait. Most products contain 1 gram. 1. Citrulline is expensive and bulky, so they sprinkle in enough to print it on the front and hope you never read a study. That is label decoration, not dosing. Ingredient 3, beta-alanine, the tingle itself. And here's the twist. It actually works, just not in the way you think. Beta-alanine raises muscle carnosine, which buffers acidity during high-effort sets. That helps in the 60-second to 4-minute effort range. Think brutal sets of 20, not a heavy triple. But carnosine saturation takes weeks of daily dosing at 3 to 6 grams. It is a chronic supplement, not an acute one. Whether it's in your pre-workout or your breakfast is completely irrelevant. Which means the tingle you feel today is doing nothing for today's session. It's a receipt from a process that takes a month. Beautiful marketing, honestly. I respect the con. Ingredient 4, creatine monohydrate. The best supplement in the building, and it does not belong in your pre-workout. Creatine works by total muscle saturation over time, at 3 to 5 grams daily. Timing barely matters. Pre, post, midnight doesn't matter. Consistency does. So, when a pre-workout brags about containing creatine, check the dose. It's usually 1 gram, and you only take it on training days. That's not a creatine protocol. That's a rounding error. Now, the ingredients that are mostly there to lengthen the label: taurine, tyrosine, huperzine, alpha-GPC, various mushroom extracts with confident names. Some have thin but real evidence. Tyrosine may help under high stress. Alpha-GPC has some power output data. Most are dosed at a fraction of what the studies used. The evidence exists. The amount in your scoop usually doesn't. And then there are the pure passengers. Arginine, poorly absorbed orally. Largely why citrulline replaced it. BCAAs, irrelevant if you eat enough total protein. They exist on the label to make the label look busy. Which brings me to the single biggest red flag in this entire category. 2 words: proprietary blend. A proprietary blend lists ingredients together under one total number. 6 grams of explosive focus matrix, ingredients listed by quantity, but no individual amounts. Legally compliant. Functionally a magic trick. Because ingredients are listed in descending order by weight, that 6 grams could be 5.8 grams of caffeine and flavoring, and a dusting of everything else. If a company hides its doses, it is because the doses embarrass them. Real products publish every dose in milligrams. Full transparency, every ingredient, no blend. That single rule eliminates about 70% of the shelf immediately. One more thing before we build: tolerance. Caffeine tolerance develops within 1 to 4 weeks of daily use, and the performance benefit dulls with it. If you need pre-workout to feel normal, it is no longer enhancing you. It is maintaining you. That is a very expensive way to stand still. All right. Practical section, here's how you build a better pre-workout for a fraction of what you're paying. Step 1. Caffeine, 3 to 6 milligrams per kilo, 45 minutes out. Bulk caffeine tablets or plain coffee both work. Start low, and if you train in the evening, go lower or skip it entirely. Step 2. 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate taken with the caffeine. Bulk powder costs pennies per serving. It tastes genuinely terrible. Mix it with squash and accept your fate. Step 3. Creatine, 3 to 5 grams every single day. Not pre-workout, just daily. Monohydrate only. The fancy forms cost 4 times more and outperform monohydrate exactly never. Step 4. Optional. Beta-alanine, 3 to 6 grams daily if you do a lot of high-rep or conditioning work. Split the dose to reduce the tingle. And if you mostly train heavy triples, honestly, skip it. Step 5, and this is the one nobody wants. Carbohydrates, 30 to 60 grams an hour or two before training does more for session quality than any powder in this video. Step 6, cycle your stimulants. Use caffeine on your 2 or 3 hardest sessions a week, not all 6. Save it for the days that actually demand it, and it stays powerful. And the honest truth underneath all of it, pre-workout is a rounding error next to sleep, food, and progressive overload. It sharpens a good program. It cannot rescue a bad one. So, caffeine is real, citrulline is real but underdosed, beta-alanine is chronic, not acute, creatine belongs in your daily routine, and proprietary blends are a confession. You now know more than the label writers. And your gains are safe. You're here, you're subscribed, you're inside the circle. I don't touch what's mine to protect. That's the code, and I have never broken it. But your gym buddy, the one slamming 400 milligrams of a proprietary blend at 9 p.m., sleeping 4 hours, wondering why he hasn't grown since spring? He's unsubscribed, he's wired, he's exhausted, and he sleeps very, very deeply. Send him this video, not because he'll thank you, because at 3 a.m. I do not check who meant well, I check who subscribed. Be kind, share it, his arms are counting on you.